Hello, this is the Women's Eye podcast, and I'm Stacey Gualandi. On the Women's Eye, you will meet intriguing women who are taking charge, breaking the rules, and making a difference around the world. Today, my guest is Nancy Glass, six-time Emmy-winning writer, producer, television host, and CEO of Glass Entertainment Group. She has executive produced over 1,000 hours and counting of programming, including the CNN original series, Lincoln, Divided We Stand. Now, she's a busy, busy lady, but we got her. Welcome back, Nancy, to the Women's Eye. How are you?
I'm great. It's so great to see you. And you are one of the most talented producers I know. And I just get really uncomfortable.
Well, well, that's the thing. You do everything. You wear so many hats, and full disclosure. In full disclosure, obviously, we work together at Inside Edition, American Journal.
Yeah.
I have watched you from afar, all of your productions, but I think probably the most challenging role or hat that you've worn is playing yourself on ABC's The Goldbergs.
Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, for
that
God's
was brilliant.
Okay, so here's what happens. They call me and they say, well, first I got an email and I thought, oh, this is clearly a joke. So then I get another email and they say, no, would you play Nancy Glass? So I wrote back. And I always say, yes, I happen to look just like her. But what I really wrote back and said was, I look just like her, only fatter.
No, not true. Not true. I mean,
it was fun. It was really fun. And they were so nice to me, and really, what an honor. I mean,
that was great. And the Philadelphia connection and everything too.
I'm here in Philly.
You still got it, lady.
Very kind.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you're very, very busy, and I think you like it that way.
All women are busy, by the way.
I know. That's true.
You have never met a woman who wasn't busy.
True. But does a pandemic stand in the way of Nancy Glass? That's what I want to know. Do you know what I mean? Does a pandemic stand in the way for Nancy Glass? Do you know what I mean? Because you're always doing stuff, and to have a pandemic, you have dealt with everything and anything when it comes to television producing. That had to have been very right out of left field.
Well, the only thing is, okay, I always believe there's no problems, there's only solutions. But the biggest problem for me was the morale of the staff. More than anything, you do the testing. I mean, we did Lincoln, we had 120 people on the set. Everybody took the test. Everybody stayed safe. It really worked. I got hit by lightning. That was a whole nother story.
I know. You need to tell that story.
You want me to tell you now?
That would be, I mean, you started production on this 2 years ago, right?
Yes, we did. We did. Based on my husband's book, was what inspired me. His book, and you know my husband very well, Charles Lockman. He wrote a book.
My former boss, Inside Edition.
He's the best. He wrote a book called The Last Lincolns, and it gave me the idea to pitch this. And in all fairness to my husband, I have such a crush on him. He is brilliant. He is amazing, but putting him on camera, it looks like he's making a hostage tape. Nobody is more uncomfortable than he is, which is so crazy because he's so smart.
Yeah, he nailed it though. He was good.
So the hard part is that you're working harder, but it's harder to get things done because you have to make an appointment to talk to anybody. There's no casual conversation. There's no serendipitous creativity because you're having a cup of coffee in the kitchen with somebody. So that's troublesome. The other thing is that my people feel isolated. They feel bad. And I have to do whatever I can to make them feel better. Yeah. And a lot of it is just contact. We have a lot of these meetings and you try everything and everybody's sick of everything. But, it was fun in the beginning to have quarantinis. And then in the end, it was like, please don't bother me. So anyway, you want to hear about getting struck by lightning?
Yeah. So, I mean, if people, if they haven't seen Lincoln, Divided we stand. This is an amazing series. This was so
you.
good, and people can still watch it even though it's fully run. But you were not only producing a documentary, a docu-series, but you're actually you were producing a feature like drama. I mean, you just like with 3 recreations. It was incredible.
We did that with Pope, which was amazing. And what an experience to be in the Vatican. Wow. And with this, what happened was we had to hire an actress to ride a horse. And that's a more expensive actress. And so I said, well, I'll ride the horse for the scene. It's supposed to be the ugliest woman Lincoln's ever met. And she pulls a gun on him and she says, sir, I was told that if I ever met a man uglier than me, I should shoot him. And Lincoln supposedly said back, madam, if I am indeed uglier than you, then shoot away. So I go to play this woman and I get on this horse. And when I say ride, I don't really mean ride. What I mean is half dead von Drulestein has a saddle on it. Its foam is coming out of its mouth. I don't know what's going on with this horse. I mean, the trainer kept saying, no, he's happy. He just has a problem with his saliva glands. So, and every time he shook his head, it was like, I don't know, like a rainstorm hit me. So starts thundering and lightning, which is dangerous. So we have to call everybody. And we call it on the set, everybody get out. And I take the horse back to the barn and I plug in my laptop because I don't stop working for a minute. And the barn gets struck by lightning and it goes right through the entire building, hits the electrical outlets, goes through the electrical outlet and hits me.
Oh my God, Nancy. I mean, we can laugh about it now, but that's
I
very,
laughed
very
then too, actually. I laughed. That's what they said, oh, she's fine. She's still laughing. I was like, I think I'm getting HBO on my back teeth. I mean, I got a burn on my leg. My laptop was totally zapped. But Stacey, what I did was I thought, what are the chances of getting hit by lightning? Wait, you have a better chance of winning. I went right out and bought lottery tickets is what I did. Because I thought, well, now I should win the lottery. And I didn't. So,
but no residual issues or anything. You're good.
My husband wanted to know, can you speak German? I was like, no, nothing.
Well, I would say, in honor of it, I decided to.
I think good.
This is just a top hat. It's not the official
stove
top
good.
hat.
You look very good, I have to say.
I bring props, but speaking of hitting the lottery, you hit the lottery with this series because it's done. It was very, very well received, and I'm going to brag on you because I think Salon said that this was like a treasure trove of new information. Is this? Yeah, I mean, so for you, why, you had a fascination with Lincoln, but why this docuseries now? And, is it the relevance that it has with what's going on in our world now?
Well, what's funny about that, Stacey? It wouldn't matter when you did a documentary on Lincoln. He's always relevant. We wanted to follow up the success of Pope with something that would be equally singular and impactful on our world. And I always believe that people don't know very much about Lincoln. So you saw it, so you know the answer to this. But what I did was I went into a meeting at CNN and I said to them, do you think Mary Lincoln was crazy? And they said, yeah, wasn't she? And I was like, let me tell you a story. She's in a hotel room. She's been living there as a widow. All of her sons, except for one, has died. Her husband has died. She is as sad as you can be. And her husband's former partner knocks on the door of her hotel room and says, Mary, you're under arrest and I'm taking you to trial. Takes her across the street at that very moment to go on trial for insanity. There has been a judge seated, the jury's been seated, all people who are guaranteed to convict her. She's been given a lawyer. This all happens within a couple of hours. And at the prosecutor's table is the man who swore out the warrant for her arrest, her only surviving child, Robert.
I just can't. I mean, it's
when
shocking.
I said that, they were like, you're kidding. I was like, there's so much about Abraham Lincoln people don't know. And the other thing I knew was the only person written about more than Abraham Lincoln was Jesus Christ. So that is how curious people are about him.
Wow. I mean, what were the, is there one or two things that just really shocked people the most, do you think, or will shock the most in learning and doing this series on Lincoln?
That he evolved.
Yeah.
He didn't come out, he wasn't an abolitionist, actually, ever.
Yeah.
He evolved. He understood, he started out one way, and today, would we call him a flip-flopper? I don't know. I think people are allowed to evolve the way he did. I also think people are a little shocked by his background, that his father beat him for reading and left him, to live like an animal with his sister in the cold while he went off and got another wife. I think, the chances of his success are so, everything was just happenstance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we ended up with him. So maybe that would surprise them. I just hope that people enjoyed it. And I didn't know we got a good review from Salon. So that makes me happy.
Yeah, no, it was just, I mean, that's the thing. I feel like too, during this pandemic, that I felt like I was craving knowledge. Like I kept wanting to learn things. I was reading a book, Lies My Teacher Told Me. And it's the things that our history books, tell us that, see, you're so busy. No one leaves you alone ever.
I know I have a block, so I'm not really sure what happened.
But I felt like I've been wanting to, maybe in the era of, fake news or whatever, like I feel like I needed or craving to know history. And so I feel like that's something that's very satisfying. But also it's something too for you, doing Lincoln, the Pope. These are amazing. You've probably learned so much yourself.
I love to do it. The way we do it is really fun. So there's about 5 of us, and we each pick 5 books, different books to read on the topic. Then we all get together and we all throw out ideas, and that's how we outline the series. And it's really fun. It's sort of like going to school, except that you can't turn in a TV show the day after it's due. That's what I learned. That's a procrastinate. But we also do stuff like we did a Snapchat series with Tokyo Styles, who is a transgender wig maker for hip hop stars. I mean, we do lots of silly stuff, and we do lifestyle, and we do nature, and a lot of
murder.
Murder.
Yeah.
Remember, I tried to get you involved in one of our murders. Yeah. I want to do a show called She Was Beautiful and Everyone Loved Her. She lit up a room. She lived in a town that was very quiet. Not much happened until her marriage looked perfect, except my sister says to me, I'm like, what happens if I get murdered? And she's like, well, you didn't light up a room, so I don't think so.
No, it's ultimately, I mean, this is your calling. I think you said that the happiest decision you ever made was starting,
I love this so much.
Last entertainment group. Yeah.
Love it.
Is it ultimately your calling to be a storyteller? Do you think?
Yeah, but I also love managing people. I know that sounds crazy, but I love it. I love having these young, fun, committed, everybody. Maybe it's because we're in a smaller town, we're in Philadelphia. It's a big family, and it gives me so much joy, and it's fun it's really fun to develop ideas, and it's really fun to shoot shows, but I get so much pleasure out of making other people famous and helping other people grow in the business. So we hire like a lot of interns, and we take our internships seriously. We look at each one as a potential employee. I mean, and then we try to promote from within. So we do a lot of cool stuff that way.
Absolutely. It's like you're trying to, bring the next generation of Nancy Glasses, right?
Well, it's not and Stacey Gualandi's, but the reason is because when I was a kid, people didn't help. The only people that helped are the women. I was on the first wave of women in the business, and other women helped. Pam Burke, who works with you, is one of the greatest people I ever worked with. And I just feel this obligation to do for other people what was done for me. So in particular, I care about, women and diverse kids. Give them a chance.
Give them a chance, a forum, to be able to tell their truth in an authentic way. So
well, it is television, so authentic.
Well, I know. Yeah, there's a little
television here. Let's
a
be
little. But so you never stop. So you're always kind of looking for the next story, the next project, whether it's television, podcasts, digital series, that kind of thing. So for you, what I don't know what's next though? What is the next? I mean, Benjamin Harrison? No, you're not going to do it.
We have we've got a lot, again, we think, so what's a big story? What do we care about? For the big feature docs, we have one coming up on a major music star who's world famous. I'm not allowed to say yet.
Okay.
I hate when people do that. I'm intrigued by spies and secrets and the science of that stuff, so I love that kind of stuff. So we're thinking about that, developing those things. We also have some shows that are so different for us coming out. We have one, when does this air?
This will be in May.
Okay. So it hasn't been announced yet, but I can tell you we're doing a show on adults adopting other adults.
Oh,
for A&E.
Whoa.
Yeah. And we're doing a show on botched bariatric surgeries for TLC. Yeah. So we're always, you never know what's going to be a show.
It's like you have this ultimate curiosity that just never stops.
Yes. And that's the fun part. It's like, so for our latest podcast, for example, we're all, we all talk every day. And so we're like, so what's going on? And then we realized that Columbine, the kids who lived through Columbine have kids the same age they were.
Oh, that's because I remember covering that story for Inside Edition. So that's like,
I know.
Whoa. That's crazy. Yeah.
That is the podcast that we are now about to go to air. And it's unbelievable. The stories, what really happened that day, what the aftermath really was, is amazing. So we're looking for things like that.
Yeah. But it's also presenting this amazing subject matter, and reintroducing it to new generations too, because I'm sure a lot of people didn't know anything about the Pope and Lincoln and Columbine, those kinds of things. So it's really, you're kind of keeping those from a historical point of view as well.
Well, it's really interesting, but at the same time, one of my favorite shows that we do is Heartland Vets on Nat Geo Wild. I mean, this couple is unbelievable. They're such wonderful people. They're a married couple. He's 6'5", she's 6'3". They throw their kids even taller than them in the back of their truck, and they cover 2,500 miles. And they take care of animals, and they are so inspirational. They're such great people. I mean, we work with some people, occasionally in our lives who are not. These people are amazing, and just being around them and watching what they do. A lot of it I have to, when I watch the rough cuts, I watch the rough cut of everything that goes through. I have to have my hand over my eyes because, we say this, it's blood, pus, and poop. I know.
But you know what? If you want to be around animals, right?
That's what you're going to do.
Yes.
So, Stacey, it's always, so that's why I know you talk about the important historic things, but there's all kinds of stories, and it's very nourishing, as you know, to work in the world of storytelling.
Yeah.
Because you can put your own story behind you and just think about someone else. And it's really nice. It's like being a parent every single day.
How do you?
Sometimes can be aggravating.
Exactly. Because each one of these shows is like a child, I'm sure.
They are like a child, yes.
I mean, what is there one thing that you think you've learned about yourself just in this past year, dealing with the pandemic, keeping a company going? Your resilience with a capital R is what I'm thinking.
I don't know if I've learned anything about myself. I've learned that my company, as I always thought they were so good, they're better.
Hmm.
I have spent more time trying to learn. Adam Grant has a new book out. It's one of my favorites. And he says you should speak, he's a behaviorist. So he says you should speak like you're right, but listen like you're wrong.
Oh,
And that's really good. So that's what you learn to do, is give everybody a fair shake, listen like, you're wrong. So I don't know if I've learned anything about myself, but I'm always working on trying to be better to people and do a better job.
is this something too that, because at some point, like, I don't know if you ever get TV burnout, but do you think that will ever happen to you, that you'll ever say, walk away and say, okay, I've had my fill of TV and producing or whatever, or it's like, no, as long as there's a story to tell, I'm here.
You want to answer that for me?
I know. It's like,
Love
yeah,
it.
no way that this is.
I have never wanted to do anything else. My daughter, when she got out of school, said to me, Mom, I want to be on in television and I have no plan B. And I said to her, good for you. Why should you have a plan B? This is what you want?
Yeah.
Go for it. That's what I tell everybody. If it's what you want, go for it. If somebody tells you no, find somebody else.
Yeah.
How many times? I can't tell you how many times I was told no. I mean,
Yeah,
in
me
my
too.
era, I was considered very weird looking. So, everybody said no to me. And I just kept going.
Yeah.
Just outworked everybody.
Yeah, no, I always used to say, like, if I had a nickel for every time somebody said, well, you're just not glamorous enough.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh, well, okay.
Well, thank you so much. I know. I had a guy say to me, well, I hired my bombshell. Now I can hire somebody who looks like you. I can't tell you this stuff. Yeah, they used to make me draw my lips in smaller because they were too big, and wear lenses over my eyes because my eyes are, as you know, a very odd color because one's half brown. So I felt like I always had a mask on.
Wow.
Now as a producer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. And where are those people now? I'd like to say. That's for sure. Well, because, and speaking of that too, because having seen you on the Goldbergs and playing your 80s self, I mean, do you have a secret sauce for not aging?
Oh my God. Come
Seriously,
on.
I am so serious.
You are so wrong. You're completely wrong. I have no idea. I definitely put on the quarantine 15. I would say my recipe is don't sleep. Worry about everything. Try not to exercise and make sure you have caramel near you at all times. Or whatever.
I'm writing this down right now.
And
Sounds like an easy plan.
I'm not,
I love it. Well, I can't thank you enough, Nancy, for doing this, because
so much fun to talk to you.
It's been, I know, because it has been so long, but you were an inspiration and still are. I'm sorry.
I respect you so much.
Oh,
you're such a great writer, producer. You are like I am. You come from my world, which is you're not a face. You've always been the worker.
Do the work.
That's what sustains us all.
Yep. Get the skills, right?
Yeah, get the skills, right.
Exactly. So, well, thank you, Ms. Nancy Glass. If you'd like to learn more about her and the work that she's doing and the shows, just go to our website, thewomenseye.com, and there you will also find our book. I have more props. Our book, 20 Women Changemakers. Yeah, and this one features fabulous females, obviously, that we've interviewed here on the air, and you can get a copy on our website, but also at changemakersbook.com. And our newest book, thank you so much for reading it, Nancy, and writing a beautiful blurb. But this is our latest book, 20 Women Storytellers. You can also find more out about that on our website and at womenstorytellersbook.com. So please check it out. So again, thank you to Nancy Glass, and thank you all for tuning into the Women's Eye podcast. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. I'm Stacey Gualandi. Remember, it's the world as we see it.